Good morning. It's Monday. It's 8 o'clock. I've been out here for about an hour and been getting this stuff ready. Here's the dashboard that's been rebuilt with the LEDs. These are the pinouts, wiring diagram of what gets connected to what. And here's what the panel looks like, and I think that looks really nice, personally. I just tested all the bulbs, so they all work. And getting ready to mount the dashboard and hook it up inside the headlight. Now, the one thing I would do differently, the one thing I will do differently the next time I do this, is stagger the splices from the 22 gauge wire up here on the LEDs to the 16, 18 gauge wire here. I put them all at the same length, which I should have known better. If you stagger them at maybe 1 inch apart, then you don't get this big lump right here where all the splices are. It'd be a nicer cable. But it's behind the headlight and you won't notice it. And I'm going to put it in place and then cut it back and put connectors on the end. Now, the interesting thing is, my neighbor across the street, Richard, who's the world's best neighbor, he's a mechanic, he's an engineer, he's worked on IT, he's worked on cars all his life. He knows more about mechanics than I'll ever hope to. And he's actually got the little male connectors that go on the wires that mate with the wires that used to go up to the old lights. So all I have to do is put these on the ends of the wires, plug them into the proper color, and everything theoretically should work. Okay, so that's where we are. Right now I'm going to take a break and go have a cup of coffee and a sandwich for breakfast, and then I'll come back and do some more work on this. Well, it's still Monday, and the bike is finished, ready, pending a test ride. Anyway, the dashboard's finished. I just finished that. Everything seems to work, sorta. Works, sorta works. Interestingly, sorta works. Having done it this way, I realized that the project I did, which took the better part of a whole day split in 2 days, is a radical case of overkill and downright silly. It's so easy to do it easier ways. First of all, you don't really have to replace all these lights with LEDs, because buying these really spiffy little self-contained LEDs, these are neat and certainly look good, but and this is the eventual wiring diagram I used. I can make it more formal if you ever want it, but basically I did all of this just so I could have the turn signal indicator. Let me show you how these things work, all right? Let's power it on. Well, first of all, there's power. Let's get over here where I can hit the starter button. We've got high beam on, ignition on, neutral on. Little high beam, see the difference? See, the high beam is dim and then full hot, bright. That's weird. Okay, turn signal is dim and bright, and the other turn signal, dim and bright. So I did this whole thing basically so I could have individual turn signal indicators, because having one activated by 2 inputs did not work. Okay, that's the old-fashioned way that the bike was made with. It doesn't work. If you have an incandescent light bulb here and you turn on the left, you get all 4 turn signals. So all of this was just so that I could have a turn signal indicator, and it was a lot of effort for very little return. It's cool. I don't understand why you get the dim, bright, dim, bright, dim, bright, and same thing on the high beam, dim, bright. It could be an idiosyncrasy of the LEDs. They might be biased towards a negative ground, and we're running them positive ground. I don't know. I don't care. This works more than well enough. And when I start the bike, you'll see that the, let's see, let's put some gas on. I just ran it a little while ago, so we should have good tickle. Let's see if it'll start. And watch the ignition switch. So it works perfectly. That's exactly what it's supposed to do. It goes off when you're charging, stays on when you're not. So everything works. But there's a whole lot. The way I did it was overly complicated. I mean, I probably put 10 hours into it, which is ridiculous. It was fun, but it's ridiculous. All of this could have been solved if somebody would just make an LED that accepted two 12-volt inputs and ground, center ground, so that it would be flashing with your left turn signal, flashing with your right turn signal, one LED, two inputs, with a positive ground center. As far as I know, I can't find anybody. I've done a lot of Googling, and I can't find anybody who supplies this. If any of you know of it, let me know. Now, the reason we went through all this trouble is that these warning lights on this 75 are much smaller than the warning lights on the earlier bikes. You know, the ones in the headlight. So I felt I had to change them out. Well, it turns out if you really take one out and lay it here, let's do this, okay? You can take this out of the bike, and you pull an LED out of one of these guys, like this. That LED actually fits inside there just fine. So all you really have to do to get an LED bulb is put an LED bulb in the stock existing, possibly not too pretty, a warning light. So that's one simplification. Just put an LED bulb in it. Let's see, what else? Also, you can buy these and put them up in there. They're very attractive. And just cut these off and put a male connector on it, and it'll connect directly to the wires that are already in here. So you can actually just connect right to the wires that are already in here if you buy a set of these small connectors, of which I'm going to get the part number, because I'm going to put LEDs in the other bike, and having these little bitty connectors was really a big help. There they are. See those? There's the females, and here's the males, right here. So all you have to do is put these on the wires of the LEDs and plug them into the existing wires under the dashboard, and you can probably do this whole job in about an hour. So what I did here was fun. Didn't cost the client anything. Got a good dashboard, looks good, everything works. It was fun. I'm going to do something similar over here on Fred. By the way, this is our project bike, and its name is Fred. So I'm going to do something similar to it. I'm going to take this panel off. I'm going to put a new decal on. I'm going to put a second LED here, but I'm just going to change the wires right underneath the bottom using those male connectors that I showed you over there. And literally, probably take an hour to do it. When I do this, I'll let you see what it looks like, okay? So, a fun time was had by all. If anybody can find me a nice 5mm LED that can be activated by 2 different sources with a nice center ground, let me know. That would make life a whole lot simpler. So that's where we are. A radical case of overkill. I had a good time doing it, but a radical case of overkill. And that's where we are. So anyway, the bike is ready for a road test and test ride, and we'll have Kevin do that tomorrow. be late in the day because I have a appointment in the morning, and maybe we'll do this test ride tomorrow. So there you go, looking good. Let's see. Yep. I don't know why Zoom sometimes works and sometimes doesn't work. It has to do with fingers. All right, later.